And transformations are obviously one of the biggest tropes, not just in shonen anime, but just in anime in general. This idea of powering up to a different form, it's an idea that could be applied to pretty much any aspect of your own life. When you're trying to achieve something and you need to go to that next level to achieve it, that's why I think the idea of a power-up is so inherently powerful. So, first up, we have Mob Psycho reaching basically 100% or question mark percent. In terms of just having a transformation and power-up, what I like about the Mob Psycho power-up transformation is that there's always the tease of what really happens when he goes 100%. What happens when he breaks all limiters? Throughout the entire series, you see that emotional level ramping up, and then ramping up, and then it gets closer and closer to 100, and then Mob gets more and more powerful. Small spoiler, but eventually he does reach 100%, and sometimes he might even go beyond 100%. I think it's cool that there's the anticipation there. I think the reason this might have less impact than some other transformations on this series is just because Mob was fucking OP from the beginning. So I think just in terms of transformation, it's like B tier. Do I think about Mob when I'm in a fucking gym session and I want to like power up? I think about Mob not powering up. I think about his life lessons and his life attitude of trying to be the best person. Even if you are powerful in one aspect, you try to train other aspects that you might be weaker at. That's what I think is a more powerful message. It's improvement in a different way. Kuroko no Basket. Kuroko no Basket is a sports anime slash manga. How do you bring shonen power-ups and forms into sports anime and manga? Conceptually, I like how they try to verbalize this concept of just the flow state. The entire point of the zone is it's when an athlete hits that flow state and everything just hits. It's when you see a basketballer and they hit every three-pointer. By the end of the series, they would basically put a time limit on how long you could be in zone. Yeah, this is one of the worst ones, actually. I'll put it at D tier. This scene was so fucking intense that I felt bad for the bad guy. One thing I don't like in shonen power-ups, or one thing that might dock a few points from me, is when there's no downside to a power-up, when you don't have to sacrifice anything. Like, this is one of my favorite things about Hunter x Hunter in general, but like the Nen power system, it just like makes sense. It's kind of like Fullmetal Alchemist, where no one gets powerful quickly without some sacrifice. Look at me, talking like someone who has watched Fullmetal Alchemist. Look at me, guys. Are you guys proud of me? Bro, did you watch FMA? Yeah, actually, I am a big expert on FMA. I am going to put it in A tier. Yes, that scene was impactful. Yes, it went fucking hard, but it only happened once. To me, a power-up should be something that has like some kind of consistency through the series, right? If it's just a one-off skill, then it's just not a consistent power-up. And to me, that defeats the idea of a shonen power-up. To me, a power-up should be finding a power within yourself to find a new form that you didn't know you had. If I needed to sacrifice my life to achieve what I wanted to achieve, I wouldn't fucking do it. I wouldn't do it. Alright, Asta's demon form. I would like to start this off by saying I really do like Black Clover. Asta's power, which is just magic nullification, it's really cool in the world of Black Clover. We have like someone who can make an entire mech out of houses that turns into like a raging bull. We have people that can control time magic. And then in like all of this, you have Asta, which is just anti-demon, which is just really convenient. And I'm like, I got more hype seeing fucking Yami just cleave the sky. Holy shit. Seeing Yami being like, yo, you gotta look within yourself and I will look in myself and just cleave reality itself. That was fucking hype. That's the real hype shit, man. Holy crap. But there's only so much you can do with anti-magic as your power-up. And for that reason, Asta's demon form goes into C tier. Deku. Deku's full cowling. All right, I've made my decision. It's also C tier. I can't even remember the first scene where he goes full cowling. And the fact that I can't remember the first scene where he goes full cowling just shows how much of an impact that he had on me. Was it against Stain? Overhaul? See, we can't even fucking chat, can't even remember, man. We can't even Muscular? Okay, yeah, maybe it was against Muscular. The fact that we can't even remember shows how much of an impact that he had on us, you know? Moving on to Gold Experience Requiem, possibly the most broken and overpowered power-up that there is. I'm gonna put this at B tier. It does everything that a power-up should do. It's the final power-up that defeats the villain. My problem with Gold Experience Requiem is that it's just a little too broken. It was so broken that I'm not even like 100% sure what it does.
Wait, so you can't understand that, but you can understand all of Fate, its lore, its timeline, and the Nasuverse.
Here's the thing. Actually, why would you call me out like that? Actually... You don't really expect there to be a kind of like a power-up scene in a seinen like Berserk, but Guts did kind of have that. In terms of the scene itself, it's fucking hype. It, to me, goes... A tier. Guts is fucking goated already, alright? Some of the shit that he did was absolutely badass, and I think that it was more badass when he himself, a human, had to like go beyond his limits as a human, and through the pure strength and anger and the will to survive, he took down so many fucking demons. It kind of hurts me to put it just in A tier because I do want to put Guts in S tier, but we're judging this purely in just terms of like my gut feeling. This is also barely a transformation. I'm sure Jujutsu Kaisen will have a more badass power-up scene. Actually, no, it's D tier. I don't even think this is a power-up. He's turning into someone else, basically. There are two ways to think about this. Are you an anime watcher or are you a manga reader? In the anime, it feels much more like a transformation where Kaneki basically gets tortured, and then in the anime, he just kind of like accepts the inner ghoul in himself, and then his hair suddenly turns white, his nails are suddenly black. I just remembered, actually, looking back now, it was even like more edgy in the anime than I originally remembered, because he turns into gray-haired Kaneki or Kaneji, and then the Tokyo Ghoul opening starts playing. Oh my god. In the manga, I think it was way better done. It's much more of a gradual transformation. I'm gonna take the best of both worlds and... No, it's C tier. It's C tier. Actually, no, it's B tier. The fucking Tokyo Ghoul opening, that made that scene. I remember that scene. It made an impact on me. It goes into low B tier just because you hear, oh shit. If you're not isekai trash like me, this is Naofumi from Shield Hero getting the hate shield. Okay, I'm just gonna say it now. This is just beta Guts. Man tries to get angry and that is his anger power-up. Sage mode is the superior power-up in Naruto. It's not Kyuubi chakra form, it's Sage mode. I liked the whole point of Naruto being the underdog and having to find new ways to train himself and work hard to achieve his goals. I'm gonna be real, I don't like Kyuubi mode. It goes against what I think is the entire philosophy of Naruto. Work hard, don't worry about not being a genius. If you put the work in, if you rely on yourself, then you can achieve the dreams that you want to achieve. Kyuubi mode is, hey, Kyuubi, give me chakra. This is him getting solo carried by another teammate, man. Yeah, Kyuubi form is C tier. Oh, fuck. This is bad. This looks really bad. This looks really bad. I'll fucking knock this down. Kaneki is not better than that. Sage mode is my favorite Naruto power-up, but this is when the hot takes are gonna come. I don't think it compares to Bleach or One Piece's power-ups. Sage mode, to me, goes in low A tier. I like the concept of Sage mode. I say to myself, I need to go Sage mode all the time because that's what it is. You need to just sit still and just like shut out the entire world. So as a monk, I should really, really fucking love Sage mode, okay? This goes into C tier. I think Nezuko's transformation was better. To me, Nezuko was like, yo, that's so fucking cool. Fuck yeah, Nezuko. Tanjiro, I do not like the fact that he basically discovered this new secret breath that he was born into suit that basically negated all of the training that he did for his water breath. Inherited powers are just way more boring than something that someone actively trained for. Oh boy, let me take a sip of coffee. This one is my least favorite one. By the time that this came out, I was just not invested in the Aizen fight. Like, fighting Aizen felt like it took a millennia. Like, it looks fucking cool, but again, it was a one-time use. And I felt like it didn't really have as much of an impact to me as his previous transformations. Like when he went Vasto Lorde. That was fucking cool. That was one of the only few scenes that I really, really liked in the Huecomundo Ankar arc. Like, his fight against Alukiora is the best fight post Soul Society. Him going like Vasto Lorde and just completely losing his mind, kind of like Gon. It was kind of just like a one-time use, but it was fucking awesome. It is not S tier because S tier is reserved for the original Bankai, baby. Ichigo going Bankai for the first time is up there as one of my favorite transformation sequences, one of my favorite power-up scenes. This had everything that I look for in a transformation sequence. There's like Super Saiyan, where you scream to get to the new level. And then there's something as cool and calculated as just saying, Bankai. If I'm in a fight and someone calmly says to himself, Bankai, you can bet your ass I am running a mile in the opposite direction. So before his Bankai was released, you're like, I remember thinking, how big is this sword going to be? And then he releases his Bankai. Guys, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to make a point here. Who here watched Digimon? Who here was a Digimon kid, guys? There is a scene in the Digimon movie where there is an ultra powerful Digimon and the two main protagonists, their Digimon, have gone mega form. But you know what? It wasn't enough. It was not enough. So what happens? They harness the power of the internet and combine with the power of friendship, and they go into an even more ultra mega form, and they combine to turn into some kind of mech knight hybrid. Pokemon, this is when I became a Digimon kid. Give me your Digimon combining and being a fucking super robot. Oh, give me that any day of the week, man. I'm not gonna justify this. This is S tier. Eren Yeager. It's not really. It is a transformation. Is it a power-up? I mean, I guess, but Eren was kind of useless for a lot of the times in his base form, so it's more like getting into a mecha for me.
Attack on Titan is a mecha anime.
You know what?
No,
he's right.
No, don't.
Probably goes into like C tier for me. Rimuru becoming a demon lord. What really makes this transformation stand out is the person that Rimuru had to become. He had to become a cold ass motherfucker. This one goes into B tier for me. To me, it's not so much about the transformation itself, it's more of the journey he had to take to become more powerful. This motherfucker had to kill, if I remember correctly, 20,000 people. But you know what? Those people had it coming. I cannot even remember the name of this power-up, but it's from Kill la Kill. Yeah, this one's C tier for me. I think the thing about Kill la Kill is that it definitely peaked very, very hard. Do you guys remember watching episode 3? That scene was fucking peak. That scene where like Ryuko does the attack, Satsuki dodges it, and you hear her heel just step back, it pauses for a second, and then that fucking music hits. Holy shit, that was so fucking hype. I remember a lot of fights from Kill la Kill. The final fight was not one of them, because what did leave a way bigger impact for me? It's Gurren Lagann, baby. It is Gurren Lagann. This is the original, man. This is the original. There has never been a transformation that has been more over the top than Gurren Lagann. Should be S tier? Should it be S tier? Let me think. Yeah, you know what? It's up there with this. The problem with Gurren Lagann, it has set a bar that people have tried to reach, and every single attempt has failed. How would you go beyond going into your final form and literally using galaxies as fucking shuriken in terms of a power-up or a transformation sequence that is pure, over-the-top hype to the point of stupidity, passes stupidity, and goes back to being cool, it is untouched. This goes into D tier for me. I've talked about how I dislike Naruto using Kurama as a clutch to use his chakra. Yugi just transforms into someone else. This is basically finding an opponent and he's just like, I'm gonna fight you, but let me get my big brother. I'm sorry to piss off every Yu-Gi-Oh fan, but come on, Yugi. Do a duel yourself. S tier, A tier. I mean, demon form, it was alright. At this point, I feel like the demon tournament arc, that was like definitely the weakest tournament arc in all Yu Yu Hakusho. And that doesn't mean that Yu Yu Hakusho has bad transformations. In fact, I think Yu Yu Hakusho has some of the greatest transformations. Kurama's transformation, fucking goated, man. Togoro's transformation, oh my God. Compared to all that, Yusuke's final transformation kinda just didn't hit as hard as his counterparts, his teammates. Part of the best parts of Yu Yu Hakusho were his training arcs and him finding a new power. He didn't need a visual power-up. He just needed a cool, badass training arc. Even Sensui's transformation as well. Sensui was such an interesting villain. And then the only way that Yusuke could have defeated him was by calling on his fucking demon dad and letting him autopilot. Yeah, actually, I think this goes down. This goes to Kurama level.
だから俺がそんなもんにビビってると思うのか?
Okay, so we have One Piece and Dragon Ball Z. And let me dick ride Oda for a second. Let me be that toxic One Piece fan for just a second, guys. Oda has had a very unique approach to shonen transformations and shonen power-ups. Feels like every form not only looks very different, but also thematically feels very different as well. The power that I think makes the least sense to me, Gear Third. And that's B tier. One thing that I really respect Oda for doing is normally when you get a power-up, you go one at a time. In Enies Lobby, Oda was like, no, I'm not gonna do things by the book. You want one power-up? No, I'm going to give Luffy 2 at a time. My second least favorite form of One Piece. Oh my God, I'm getting hungry. When Gear 4 first released, he was here. It had been a long time since we had seen like a form from Luffy. And when it first released, I was just like, this looks fucking stupid. Then he found his Snake Man form. And I'm like, all right, that's pretty badass. Snake Man, yo, you kind of saved it, man. You kind of saved it. Wait a second. Oda was not satisfied with breaking the meta once. He was not satisfied. He broke the meta by giving us 2 forms at the same time. But he broke the meta twice with Gear Second, giving us 0 training arc, 0 preparation, 0 foreshadowing that another form was coming. He just fucking dropped the bomb on us. When Gear Second came, I'm just like, holy shit. Where was he saving this? Oh my God, he just... You mean you can actually get a new form without having an entire arc training up to achieve that form? To me, it was still an echelon below Bankai though. And this hurts me to say. This hurts me to say as a One Piece fan, which leads me to Gear 5, the latest form that has been hyped up to no end. When it first came out in the manga, I literally could not escape Gear 5 Luffy at all. This is probably the most spoiled form in what I can think, the history of anime and manga. Even the official One Piece YouTube channel was like, guys, by the way, lock your schedules, Gear 5 is coming. And I'm like, but what if people aren't caught up to the manga? When I first read the manga with these expectations in mind, I was like, it's all right. It's good. It's hype. I went into the anime as blind as I could because everyone was like, oh, yo, have you seen Gear 5? Yo, what's your opinions on Gear 5? Only when I watched the anime did I truly understand why people hype this up so much. To me, Gear 5 is S tier. It does something I've never experienced seeing with an anime transformation. You expect when people hype up a new form, you're gonna get hyped. You're gonna start cheering. And that's what I felt like in the manga, where I came in with these expectations and then I watched the anime. And I came in not with the expectations that I was going to get hype. And then seeing it in anime form, just something magical happened. I just started laughing. Everyone expected a new form to get people hype. And what Gear 5 Luffy did is it completely subverted all of the emotions that you were meant to feel, and you just start laughing. You start having fun. You do exactly what Luffy wants you to do. Gear 5 perfectly encapsulates what Luffy as a character is about and what One Piece is about. Watching Gear 5 managed to transport a 33-year-old man back to being a kid again, watching Tom and Jerry and Looney Tunes on Saturday morning cartoons. And I think that's just something magical about that.